Okay, and we can begin the meeting. Thank you for coming, everybody, to the administrative hearing for the City of Cupertino on Thursday, August 28th, 2025. It is exactly 5 p.m. I am the administrative hearing officer, Luke Connolly, Assistant Director of Community Development for the city. Our first item will be the approval of the minutes from the most recent administrative hearing held on June 26th. I was present at that meeting and have had a chance to review the minutes. So with that, I will move the approval of the minutes from the June 26th administrative hearing. The next item would be postponements, but we do not have any postponed items. So we can move then to oral communications. Are there any members of the public that have shown up for oral communications? This is confined to items that are not on the agenda. Not seeing any members of the public present, I will close oral communications, and we can now move on to the public hearing portion of the agenda. There is no old business, and there is one item of new business today. That is an architectural and site approval that would allow the expansion of an existing utility space at Apple Park to provide for MEP redundancy upgrades, including switchgears, transformers, generators, and renewable energy charged batteries. This is a location at 4 Apple Parkway. So with that, I can turn it over for staff for a brief report.
Thank you, Luke. John Martier, Senior Planner, Community Development Department, and I will be presenting this item for the hearing officer and for those in attendance. Pretty basic upgrades on site for the existing utility space at Apple Park. Just a little bit of context, the 150-acre park located between Tantau Avenue and Wolf Road to the east and west of the property, respectively, with Homestead Road to the north and Highway 280 to the south. The proposed upgrades to the utility space, the existing utility space, are primarily along the Highway 280 frontage with a development area of about 40,000 square feet of that 150-acre portion. And that space is located pretty much tucked between Highway 280 and the south parking garage along at the southern end, again, of Apple Park. Again, there are existing generators within the utility space. However, Apple is proposing to do a couple things. Within the generator yard area of the utility space, they will be adding 6 generators, which range in height up to 35 feet tall, from 13 to 35 feet tall. To the east of that, they'll be doing a battery yard with batteries going no taller than 15 feet. With the expansion, they'll be losing 9 parking spaces within the garage because of various engineering that needs to happen, but they will be making up those 9 spaces outside to the west of the existing utility space. Landscaping will be done within the upgraded within the within the battery yard. All will be considered WUCAL, low water usage, that is, with native shrubs that include deer grass, valley violet, as well as Mexican blue oak trees. Just for some further context, there was a tree removal permit submitted about 2 years ago, or about a year ago, that removed some of the newly planted oak trees, but I believe they were replaced within the development itself, and that was in anticipation of this upgrade. A few of the things is that these generators will not be run all the time. They will be only tested monthly for maintenance purposes, and yearly run times are consistent with the allowed limits of BACMed. The batteries will be run pretty much all the time, but consistent with the noise studies as reviewed by our consultant LSA, they're within the zoning standards of Chapter 10 of our municipal code. Moving along with LSA, they had completed the 10th addendum to the EIR and found that no further mitigation measures are necessary, and that this is below the thresholds require a new EIR or further environmental review. And And so with that being said, the existing redwoods along the southern end of the utility space, or in the new expanded utility space, are proposed to be maintained, and they will act as a way to mitigate any visual impacts from motorists along Highway 280. I do want to add a condition of approval that was mentioned in the staff report, but was not, it was inadvertently left out of the resolution to have prior to occupancy, that an arborist report would have to be submitted with the city, showing that the health of the trees will be maintained, have been maintained at the end of the termination of construction, as well as any tree mitigation measures that will need to be done on site during construction to ensure that the long-term survivability of those redwoods. That being said, that concludes my presentation. And any further questions, Luke, please let me know.
Okay, thank you very much, John. See, there's applicant representatives here. I don't know if you had anything to add or if there are any questions about the added condition of approval.
No, I think with the added condition of approval, we're already planning to do that. We have our consulting arborists already on staff looking at that as part of the project in general, and it's a required mitigation as part of the EA that was approved with Apple Park. So we are aware, and Thorsten is the project manager for the project and has already taken care of that. And it's a total of 5 generators that would be proposed, so 2 existing, 3 new.
Correct.
Okay, very good. I didn't have any additional questions. I thought the staff report was clear, the presentation was, so there are no members of the public present, so I don't feel that you need to put any additional effort into your presentation at that point. So I did also want to clarify, as John said, that for CEQA clearance, this was an addendum, which was done, which is typically a staff action that would be noted in the file, since there were no new significant impacts or more intense significant impacts that were noted in the original EIR. So with that, I would go with the staff recommended action and approve the architectural and site approval that is in accordance with the draft resolution, including the additional condition that John had cited. So with that, that is the only action item on today's agenda. We have reached adjournment, and that will close this administrative hearing.